Hi, my name is Vince Marie, and I love Philadelphia because of our Eagles.
Welcome to With or Without, our podcast about Philly's most intriguing people with the most interesting stories. I'm your host, Dennis Valerino. I'm with my longtime friend and co-host, Michael Moffitt.
Hello, folks. How are you?
Michael, you know what my grandfather Valerino always said?
You want me to do the accent for you?
Go ahead.
Danny, everybody has a story.
Yes, everybody has a story. Today, we have an adopted son of Philadelphia with us who has a hell of a story, and we're going to hear it today. Welcome, Vince F. Marie, to With or Without.
Super excited.
So are we. Excited to have you. You ready?
I am.
Where are you from, Vince?
Originally, I was born and raised in Kuwait, although not a Kuwaiti. My parents migrated to Kuwait from Jordan. And
What brought them to Kuwait was just...
at the time when they came, Kuwait was still a young country that needed resources to build the infrastructure. My mother was a teacher. My father was, I don't know what the hell my father was. He did something at the time when I remember his time. He was in pharmaceuticals and whatnot.
Describe your childhood for us, if you can.
Childhood is interesting. Kuwait was an interesting experience for someone was different. I was different in Kuwait. I was not someone that was accepted easily into the society. Environment was surrounded by fear, a lot of fear. The culture is not in.
They feared you, or you feared
I
what
feared
was going on?
the environment that you lived in. A lot of, describe it, growing up in a culture where Islam is the main religion and you're living by the rules. At some point, the oppression will lead to a society that feels like a man's prison. So men and women are not easily combined, and men are resorted to going after young kids, young boys, satisfy their urges. So you're constantly chased, you're constantly attacked, assaulted, sexually
By older men.
assaulted. Yeah. Even younger.
You
like,
yourself?
Huh?
You yourself
Yeah,
were...
yeah, yeah. No, I was assaulted
assaulted.
for sure. And it changed my life when I was 11. I
Mhm.
became a man when that happened. And
They call it grooming here. You were groomed, or were you raped?
raped, assaulted. Let's just say it didn't get to the point where there was any penetration, to be honest with you. It was just more the act of it and almost happened. But I fought my ass off to get out of it. And I actually took out the two kids that were trying to, and they were older. I fought my ass off. And that day I just went home, didn't tell anybody. And I lived with it for the rest of my life until,
A lot of people never do discuss, right?
I had to get out and talk about it and accept it. And just, it was my trauma.
Sure.
Right, as a kid. And I understand why we all face the same issues, because some of us had major traumas.
Yes.
How we deal with them is unique to each one of us, right?
Yeah, they come out sideways sometimes.
Sometimes.
How was high school?
High school was great for
Playing
me.
sports?
I did. I played soccer a lot. I played basketball. I played handball. We did a lot of water sport since we lived in Kuwait. Water polo, swimming, tennis. I can probably say I'm the world champion in foosball. We played ping pong, Frogger. I was like a awesome Frogger.
How does a Jordanian living in Kuwait find University of Nebraska? That's where you go, right? At 17?
Actuarial science.
Okay.
The major, I was good in math, and actuarial science was a unique kind of profession that attracted me. I thought at the time there was like one actuarial scientist in the whole Arab world, and everybody was hiring him to do reports, and I'm like, I'll be number 2.
And you wanted to go to U.S.?
No, actually, originally I wanted to go to France.
Okay.
And the University of Lyon at the time had a program for actuarial science, but my English was way much better. I learned English since I was 3 years old.
Okay. Just for people who don't know, can you say
actuarial science?
Yes, that's for insurance.
Insurance, probability, statistics, figuring out when you're going to die, what are you going to die from, all that stuff.
Pick college, University of Nebraska, Lincoln.
They accepted me. It was that or Michigan.
Okay. Tell us about that. What's it like for a young man from
17 years old? Yeah,
17 just dropped down into
Nebraska.
Nebraska. It's not like you're going to New York.
It was actually blessed. I think if I went to a much more congested area that's more, urban. Nebraska's there's sweetest. Can I curse up here?
You can.
Oh, sweet. Nebraska, you can raise a family safe. It's like 4:00 in the morning. Everybody leaves their doors open. Lincoln, Nebraska was fucking awesome. It was great. It was sweet people, caring. It took me in. There was some racism. I'm not gonna lie. You face it anywhere you go. I don't care. Even in our world,
Yeah.
you'll face some kind of a racism. But it wasn't that bad as I thought it may be. Stayed there for a year and a half, and then that's how I learned football. My first game was a Cornhuskers against Oklahoma Sooners
Oh.
in the stadium with my roommate teaching
Mhm.
me football, and I fell in love with it maybe on the second play
We
because it clicked. Like everything, the rules. You just have to like learn the rules, right? You got 10 yards to go, figure it out.
4
You have
downs.
few ways to go about it. You have 4 downs, figure it out. If you don't make it on the third, you have to punt. But you start to learn the game, right?
Becoming friends
Yeah.
with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you're meeting football players and
Yeah.
you're starting to, at the time, like I was coming from like playing soccer, so I had a good leg. And the dorm had some kind of a tournament for like flag football. And I said, I'll kick. Took my shoes off, barefooted the
Oh.
ball to the end zone. And they were all looking at me like, geez, right? Couldn't throw for shit. My arm is weak as fuck. And I loved the sport. I loved playing it. I loved everything about it. I started to lose love for soccer the way what I grew up with. Football started to take more of the lead in my world.
Becomes your favorite sport.
Yeah, and the Cornhuskers were good at the time. It was
Frazier
yeah.
and
I had left. Tommy Frazier came in after,
okay.
but I was still a fan.
What
Right?
year is it? At
I went
17, when do
to
you enter?
89.
89.
89, I went to Nebraska, left in 1991.
Where'd you go?
In here.
Okay.
1990, I'm sorry.
Come here. Why? How do you find
I love
Philly?
that story.
What?
So
Let's hear it. That's what we're here for.
Mondays, I used to spend time with a friend of the family who was a gentleman who watched NFL and never watched college. So we would watch the NFL. And sometimes on Sundays, the Eagles will be playing. Sometimes on Sundays, the 49ers would be playing. I fell in love with both. I loved the 49ers because they're so efficient, so beautiful to watch, like timing, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
West Coast
On the
offense.
other side, you got football that's like yard football. You're playing in schoolyard, no rhyme or reason. Okay, just give the ball to Randall, let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
But play hard defense.
Just yeah,
It's
like
what
focus on the
Philadelphia loves.
defense, which was
Buddy Ryan.
Oh my god, yeah. And I fell with the street football kind of thing as well with Randall Cunningham, Freddie Barnett, Calvin Williams, Keith Jackson, Jerome Brown, Reggie, all of them, right? And there was a time when the Iraq War happened and the school would not allow me to go back because apparently our finances were frozen at the time. So I had to make a choice and either go to San Francisco or come to Philly. And I chose Philly because of the Eagles. My life could have been changed had I went to San Francisco, for example.
So what do you do first day, Phil?
First
you get
day in
here.
Philly,
Are you here for college or
No, to survive. There was no
anyone here for
income.
it?
There was no family on my father's side, distant cousins and whatnot. They were all over. Like their family in Houston, family in San Francisco.
Where do you come in Philadelphia? What part?
I don't, I'm trying to figure out where I was when I first came here, when they picked me up from the airport. I think they took me, they lived in media, I think, in some kind of an apartment, and they gave me a hot dog cart in front of Bartram School in Philly to man the hot dog cart.
And that's how you exist.
That's how I started here in Philly, hot dog cart. And I lived on, I moved out, whatever, lived on 72nd and Grace in a Mexican family's attic, switched jobs at the time, but it was like a lunch truck and hot dog carts and all that stuff, working with family members, distant family members.
Started in food.
Food.
Like working for yourself?
No, working
Or
for
you're working
them.
for
I was
them and
making
getting paid?
$60 a week, and my attic was $70 a week. So I was short $10 every week, and I was working 90 hours, 120 hours a week.
That didn't seem like a great deal, huh?
No, but it humbled you. You have to work. You just have to fucking work. And
You're what, 19, 20?
yeah, I was 18 and a half, going to 19. Then I quit this business because it was just, I figured, $60 a week is just not doing it. And I became a bum,
Okay.
and I moved on with two roommates, husband and Mary, on 24th and Brown. by the art museum, and I lived off of them for a few months.
The kids call it now couch surfing.
Whatever.
But
Yeah,
you
I did
call it
that.
bum.
Well, I
We
did that.
call it bum.
I slept on the floor. Like,
Yeah.
I literally had no bed. I had no mattress. We would
Mhm.
go on Tuesday nights to go find trash and furniture. Because down the street, there were like doctors and lawyers that lived a couple of blocks away. And they would leave like really nice pieces
Their
on the
trash
trash.
was-
Oh my God. Like, oh my God, like, look at this. A few months later, I met Janine. September 1st, 1991.
Janine is will be
Late
your
wife.
Where?
Aztec Club.
Lower Avenue?
Yeah, at the Lower Avenue. Sunday.
That's when
The
all the
late-
clubs were on Delaware Avenue.
Yes, and it was a Sunday night, and that night I didn't actually want to go out. Somebody from out of town came and wanted me to take him out and show him Philadelphia, and I was like, oh God. At the time, I was just down on myself. Um, Took him, ended up saying, okay, we go to the club, and I saw her, and she saw me, and then she left, and I went into looking for her to see where the fuck she went. A few hours later, I'm standing with a guy, a friend of mine, and here she comes looking for me. And we exchanged pleasantries, and to this day, we will probably fight if she was alive as to who said hi first. But I recall it completely like it was yesterday.
Said hi with your eyes.
Well, the story, the way it went,
Your version.
my version of it, she had left the club, went with her friends to another club, which was Zero. I don't know if you guys on 4th and South, upstairs. And she wanted to meet me. When she saw me, she said, I knew we were gonna get married. You were my husband. The second she saw me.
Wow.
And she fought with her girlfriend to go back and meet me again. And we were standing outside I was standing outside on the deck with my friend. I was very close to the door where people like from the inside going into the deck. I was standing close to that door. And I'm telling him, yeah, dude, I can't find this girl. And as I was saying that, here she's storming out of this door, like, like she looks like she's looking for someone. And she sees me because I was standing right there, and you can see the pause in her face. And then she played like she wasn't looking for me, and she played it cool and walked around me, walked all the way to the end of the bar, talked to some guy, came back and walked past me again. I'm staring at her. I'm looking at her with a smile on my face. And she goes, hi. I go, hi. And she kept walking past me. I'm like, that's it?
Yeah, doesn't she say something
Right?
like,
She
what
just
else you
turns
want
out,
me to
she's like,
say?
well, yeah. She's like, what else you want me to say?
She's a Philly girl.
Yeah, exactly right. I
Gotta
said,
give you-
stand here. Let's talk. Let's
That's
chill.
love.
Yeah. Took her to the bar. Can I buy you a drink? She's like, I don't drink. I'll have a Diet Coke. I'm like, okay. I, at the time, drank. I got shit-faced that night. She had left. They took me to a Greek place, and I drank so much fucking ouzo that night. Got home by 6 o'clock in the morning, and I go to my roommates. I'm like, girls, I think I found my one and only.
I've said that a half a dozen times. It's true. So I did find my one and only.
And you know that moment when you're like, should I call her? Should I not? Should I wait? How long? Blah, blah, blah.
I don't want to do it too early.
Guess why? I couldn't. I'm like, if she's the one, she would continue, right? And if she's not, then she's not. I call her. I think it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. Nice meeting you. I would love to see you again. She's like, what are you doing tonight? Done. That's it. That was it. I'm
From that
available
day on.
every day for the rest of our lives. I think we only separated maybe, it might be, let's say a month from 27 years together, maybe 30 days that we were not together, together.
All right. So you're 19. You're living on the floor still with two roommates. You
Mhm.
meet the love of your life. What's next? You got to get your crap together for.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was ready at the time. I think her and I, for the longest period of time, we were just having a blast,
Mhm.
partying. She worked for her father at the time. I was not. I was a bum still. I wasn't motivated. I just wanted to enjoy life a little bit.
When do you get motivated?
When I
And how's that happen?
listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was always motivated,
Mhm.
but there was a time when I just needed a break. And that time, I think, because until now I haven't stopped working since then. So I got in a fight on my birthday night, well, a street fight, and she was right there with me, and she got her head banged against the car. She would sleep on the floor with me. She didn't give a fuck. And she came from a really, really well-to-do family. Like, it wasn't her family, her father did well, but she was real. And like the rest of Philly, real. She wasn't fake. And I appreciated that. I appreciated somebody actually believing in me.
Can we stop there for a second?
Sure.
Because this is a podcast about Philly. So, you're Jordanian, live in Kuwait, live in Nebraska. We're different, right? Talk about it.
Being different?
Yeah, Philly. You fell in love with
Philly
you've
is
been here
real.
now.
Like I said, like Philly is just like real. Listen, can we be aggressive and rude? Sure, but at least we're real. I'd rather you tell me to fuck off than say it behind my back. And that's what you get in Philly. Are we nice? Not all the time. We can be, for sure. But you got to give us a reason to be nice to you.
Mm.
You have to show respect. You have to do all of the things, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on, show some love. East Coast in general, I think, is different than the Midwest and the West Coast. And I've been everywhere. And to me, the realism of the blue collar, it's just the genuine part of it, being sincere. Like, I freaking love that. And if you can't appreciate it, regardless of how rude people can be, if you want that rosy kind of life, I don't know, move to the West Coast, I guess.
So you ever go back to college?
Um, Fast forward, we had a pizzeria. We opened up.
Who's we? What do you mean with?
My father came over. We opened up our pizzeria on Broad and Gerard. Worked there for a few years. Then bought my own lunch truck.
So near Temple was the pizza place, right?
Yeah. It was interesting. Then I got my own lunch truck. Janine and I ran it. We lived in Blackwood at the time. What type of cheesesteaks, of course, right? But we had some interesting sandwich variation. Like I would make chicken with like mozzarella, roasted peppers, and spinach,
Okay.
right? Or a very kind of artisan blend of things. A vegetarian hoagie would be like fried eggplant, roasted peppers, spinach, fried onions, and mozzarella. With spices. It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was like you're eating like it felt like
Where?
we parked it on 17th at Spring Garden by Community College of Philadelphia at the time.
Yeah.
And by the time the summer break came, it was like a ghost town. And I had no other place to go. Like we didn't know where the fuck we were gonna go. So that 3 months was a pain, and there were some expenses that were just too much for us to handle. So I sold the lunch truck and ended up working with her father as a receiving manager. No, at the time, actually, more in the production line, creating disc pads and brakes for cars. He had one of the biggest brake manufacturing in the U.S. at the time.
Now, did I hear you say you were in Blackwood, New Jersey?
Yeah,
You were living-
yeah.
Okay.
And actually started a painting business for a minute. Found an account with like commercial properties where we would paint their apartments and whatnot. Started a company called Painting America, created a logo and everything, and found a crew. But I just could not find jobs quick enough for them. So by the time I found a job, they were all gone. Eventually started painting myself. Ended up working with her father and started doing like just learning the business over there and the manufacturing part, and eventually worked my way up from that to quality control to receiving manager to inventory control manager.
Where's his place at?
And Jay in Blackwood as well. It was
Blackwood.
down the street from where we were. New Jersey American, who's called. I got fired from that job because we were not seeing eye to eye with her father at the time. They had their own issues. Ended up working with my father, who had a restaurant in Mount Airy that he had opened up, a Middle Eastern food that he would cook. He was not really great of a cook. He had some elements of the food, but it wasn't great. And his way, he was such a simple man that brought a lot of the things that he thinks is okay, but for others it's not. Like, for example, he'll grab something that he just made, like a piece of chicken or whatever, and he will just grab it with no gloves on, with nothing. Just grab it and hand it to the customer as they're walking into the counter, like over the counter. I'm like, Pop, you can't do that. And he was sticking it in their face, like in their mouth.
Yeah, try
Like,
this.
here, try this.
That's what we do in the old country.
Yeah,
What's wrong with
but you can't do that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta notice these things. I come in, I'll put it on a dish and put some toothpicks in it. Sample it all you want. You can't be handing shit out of your hand, Pops. Came in, we opened up a second one because the one that he had, we opened up one in Chestnut Hill. I'm like, we need to expand. You need to help you out, blah, blah. I got you down. We opened up a second one at a time. We were pregnant with our first boy, Janine and I. We opened up the Chestnut Hill location. My mother and my sister came to visit. and they never left. My mother became the executive chef of the restaurant. My sister took care of the um, food area and serving it was 2 floors.
Okay.
The kitchen was downstairs. The seating area was upstairs. She was the manager upstairs at
95?
Germantown Avenue.
Like 19, I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
What year? So we were at 91. We met Janine. It's like 95,
I want to say
96.
97,
Okay.
97, because that's, 97 and into 98.
When's your first born?
He was born in 98 in June.
His name?
Gabriel, June 11th. I'm losing my mind too. I'm forgetting a lot of shit. Anyhow, at the time, the restaurant business was grueling. I didn't see him walk for the first time. I didn't hear him talk for the first time. I went back to school while I was running the restaurant, went back into the Art Institute of Philadelphia to get a degree in multimedia.
So you're working 100 hours a week and then still going to college. And
Yeah.
no wonder you're not seeing them.
Yeah. And some semesters I took like 7 courses to just accelerate
Mm-hmm.
to time the downtime of earning better income, right? Like how fast can I do this just to get it over with? So yeah, let's go to school in the morning, and by the time I get back, it's time for the restaurant to open. I managed the restaurant, like I managed the whole entire. I was the quality, the last person that would the dish comes out, it goes through me. I was the garnish, would take the orders.
Expediter, is that what they call?
Take the order. My mother and my father would do order
Right.
and our help as well. Did that. Well, once I graduated, 2 weeks before I graduated, I got hired by an ad agency, and I was like, okay, fam, I'm ready to move on.
So you're going into advertising?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mother and my sisters, at the time, my father and my mother were divorced. They were not together, but they were doing this just to help me out. So I get into the ad agency, and I, stopped the restaurant business. My mother and my sister stopped as well. And my father was happy to have the restaurant for himself because now he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Fast forward, I learned everything I can about running an agency, about the creative world, about it, like everything.
And what are you doing?
When I was hired, I was doing mostly web, flash, coding, CD-ROMs, and eventually had to evolve into a video because the internet bubble came about. And if I didn't learn something new, I probably would have been out of a job. So quickly learned how to edit video, animate, create.
Things are changing really quick. We're talking to millennium.
We're talking
millennium.
2002, 2003, 2004.
So you're learning something. It's yesterday.
It's
already.
yesterday already, and it's not as useful anymore. So learned everything about video, filming, editing. Didn't like to direct. I thought other people were better directors, and I didn't have that kind of ego about it. I had a vision of something, but
More artistic.
at the time I was just still learning. Like I don't know, whatever. I didn't think I had enough because I started late in this career. I didn't think I always felt like I was behind.
Because you were what?
At the time when I
25,
joined,
30?
I was close to 30. Yeah. And
the people that were starting with you are 19, 20, coming out.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So everybody that's in the business already is way ahead of me. And I didn't have that confidence about me yet.
You still feel like an outsider?
Always. Yeah, always. But I'm closer to doing what I can do without being put in jail or buried under the sand and
Pick something
stoned
up.
to
Can I-
death.
can I ask you
I do that
quick?
here.
Right.
I can't do what I want to do over there, okay? Because I will get stoned to death. Somebody called me an infidel, okay? Like over there. Like they clearly said, if you're here, it's legal to kill you. And I can't survive in that kind of environment. I really
You
can't.
could. Sounds hostile.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody's watching you, what you're doing, and they want to catch you. So,
You said earlier, I
Yeah.
picked this up and
Sure.
you tell me or not. You said, oh, back then I drank a lot or I drank.
Yeah.
Does that mean you stopped drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was never an alcohol. It was always a social thing. I'm not a fan of alcohol, but when I was younger, it wasn't like drinking beer. I was
Right.
still, I had my selection of
You stopped
drinks.
On your own.
I stopped. Okay, so let me make this clear. If I drank when I drank back when I was young, it didn't continue when I was like 21, when I was with Janine, for example. Right? That stopped. I didn't drink. It wasn't a thing. The only time I would drink, it was like social, where we're friends. I'll have like maybe a sip of something, or like I'll sip on tequila, but it wasn't like come home, get in the fridge, go grab a beer and drink.
Well, geez, Vince, you were working, 60
Everybody
hours a
does.
week.
Everybody does.
You were going to school. You were changing your whole life.
Anyhow, it wasn't my thing.
So you're working
Mhm.
at another ad agency.
I got fired.
2007, you decide.
I got fired in
Okay.
2007.
Creative.
Well, no. In our industry, you have side work, sometimes freelance, small gigs. We're doing work for Comcast and big telecommunication companies and around the world. People, small businesses, mom and pop shop would ask for this, that, and the other, a website and whatnot, a branding exercise or a logo, whatever. I gave that thing an entity, a name, High Heels and Bananas, it was called. Created a website, just like to show my work, and they got wind of this website and they said to position it as a competitor of theirs and they cannot work with me anymore.
But that fuels you into that business for yourself.
Well, I had a choice again. Like, what do I do now? Do I go back and find a job, or just pursue my entrepreneurship and spirit? Because I love opening up business. I love doing that from scratch. Janine, at the time, I looked at her. I'm like, babe, what should I do? Do I go on my own, or should I get another job? She's like, fuck it, go on your own.
Are
Like,
you married yet?
oh yeah, we had a kid. We had 2 kids at the time.
Our daughter came along?
She was at the time 2 years old, and I had $5,000 in my bank account at the time when I got fired, and we had booked a vacation in Ocean City for the week. Yeah, and it was like the house was $2,500 to rent or something. So like half of my fucking income, whatever I have in the bank account, was gone already. And she goes, cancel it, don't worry. I'm like, nah, we're gonna go on vacation and everything will be fine. I don't know. It was fine. It was the greatest fucking thing that ever happened to me when I got fired. And Janine would always say, I wish if I see them again, your bosses, I just want to thank them so much for letting you go.
It's amazing how sometimes in life,
It changed
things
our
that
life.
look so bad turn out to be so good.
It changed our life for the better for sure. Worked my ass off to get it to that point. I never saw my kids. Even though I would work virtual, working out of home, I set up my own office. They never bothered me. She made sure they don't bother me.
You have Gabriel, and Isabel now.
At the time, yeah. Isabella transitioned. That's another story. So he's now Donovan.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's later.
That's later, yeah. So Gabriel and Isabella, they're like 6 years apart. And where am I now? Where's the story?
We just started High Heels and Bananas. We had started it as a side project.
No, it's a full-time 2007 into 2009.
On your LinkedIn, you call it, you're the creative head, but you're the owner.
Yeah.
You're the
I don't care about fucking titles.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm the founder.
How many
businesses?
No, how many workers do you have? How many employees do you ever?
On the High Heels and Bananas side, our model was always contract based.
Okay.
We never did W-2. I don't believe in W-2 per se for our business. I think it keeps you flexible to be able to hire the best talent,
right,
and assign projects accordingly, instead of being stuck with the same kind of responsibilities that from a business standpoint. Like, I'm just running a business here and I'm thinking about it and I see what the loopholes are and how we can turn and save the money for the client, so they pay for what's in what we're thinking versus what we're sitting on. Okay.
So you're growing High Heels and Bananas.
Correct.
And does it turn into union?
No, completely different agency. I approached
2 different businesses.
Correct. The second agency hires High Heels Bananas for the creative services. So it's contract based, 1099. Everybody's responsible for their own benefits, whatever. Like, I'll pay you extra and you go buy.
High Heels and Bananas is still around, and it becomes part of sort of an offshoot of Union Ad Agency. They hire.
Correct. Union Ad
and
Agency.
You guys are still together.
We're It's still a partnership, yes. We started Union in 10 officially. It was called Avenue Red, and we rebranded it to Union Ad Agency. Again, that's a story where the evolution and the growth of the agency, where we went from 3 people to, 10 people under contract annually.
What kind of clients? Can you tell
Oh
us
my
about them?
God.
Or?
Here's the thing. We worked with a diverse, like so many different clients that we don't necessarily have a niche client because what we have is a niche customer that we want to learn about and approach. I think advertising your message, regardless of what it is, as long as you understand why you're in business, what it is that you do, and how you do it, it doesn't matter whether you're in pharma, in finance, I don't care what it is. Just tell me those things. Answer these 3 things for me. And then we make a connection with
What are
your
the 3 things?
audience. Why, what, and how? Why are you doing the podcast?
Bored. I was bored.
You were born. And
Don't turn this around
I'm
on
not,
me.
I'm not, no.
Don't turn
But
it around on
you
me.
understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
okay.
Just
So if you can answer those 3 questions, I
Okay.
think it allows you to be a little bit much more elastic in the way you approach the
Right.
different clients and whatnot.
So you have the bananas. You're involved with the union ad agency, who's part of an ad. You're doing all this stuff. You have 2 kids and a wife, and then all of a sudden, I read that you Chewy Chums. Can you tell us about Chewy Chum? You should start another business over here
Again,
in
there was
2012.
2012. I was giving my dog a shower,
Mhm.
and he always got in the shower with me, and I
Mhm.
bathed him. And when he comes out, he just wants to play and bite and get dry and just goes nuts, right? And he starts to nip. And I wrapped a towel around my hand and I turn it into like a puppet to protect my hand a little bit from his bites because sharp teeth are fucking hurt as fuck.
Especially when they're young.
Then I'm thinking, oh my God, like my son loved dinosaurs at the time. And I remember that he had a little head of a dinosaur T-Rex or something from one of the movies. And I'm looking all over for it so I can use it to protect my hand again. I want to engage with my dog. Now, fast forward, I go to pet stores looking for something similar to it. I found a few items that are like puppets, but either they were built cheap, the layer of protection was not a protection at all. I could feel his teeth. And in my nature, if it's not there and you need it, just go make it.
And that's what you do. You come up with this visit, Chewy Chums.
Chewy Chums is the parent company, and the toy is called Never Bite.
It says it's a game changer.
It is a game changer. It changed the way I play with my Bogart. We found solutions and we found different function that it does beyond what I had intended for it to be, which is just to be able to play with my dog without getting hurt. Period. And distract him from biting my hand. All the different kind of ways of like scolding it, or I didn't think it felt right. So we created this toy that actually has a hidden glove inside that actually it's like puncture free. Those were kind of the items that I wanted to highlight for the toy. Tear resistant layer on the outside, puncture free layer on the inside. And then we married up some characters just to make them a little bit more adorable. But I think it's backfiring now because it feels so cute that when you look at it, you don't think it's tough enough. And in fact, like one of the prototypes is 13 years old and she's been through a lot. Like I'm talking pit bulls, German shepherds. The list is long. Bulldogs, Portuguese water dogs, and to me, it's a solid product that will be the last dog toy you'll ever need. Literally, it'll be the last
I
dog toy you'll ever need.
I know the feel. I've been in this situation. I have few dogs in my life, and I did like to play with them. And me thinking I'm the big man I am, I could take the pain of them gnawing and
No,
stuff. So I
no.
wish I would have.
Our skin is not built for their teeth.
Yeah,
And the natural way of playing with them where they feel as if they're playing with their litter is through the puppet. And then when I introduced it to our vet, he's like, this is a game changer. Showed it to trainers. They're like, yes, but we're having a hard time since 2012 to produce it locally, domestically, because all the manufacturing businesses here are gone. There's one dog toy, plush toy manufacturer in the US right now, and that's the one where we're working with. And they're struggling also like with materials and all what we need. But I was adamant since then that it's gonna be a domestic product, nothing built in China or whatever, and everybody would go, "Make it in China." I'm like, "I don't trust China. I don't trust the materials that come out of China." I've read articles and reports about, dog deaths caused by products coming out of China, food and otherwise. Even toothpaste for us coming out of China that was poisonous. So my trust level was like, "No, we need to keep it here." I don't care what the cost is gonna be to the end consumer. Hopefully, we'll overcome that and let them build trust in the product that eventually it'll be a house, you know, recognizable brand in a household, similar to Kong, similar to all the other products out there. And that's right now, we're not that far away from actually like releasing and having our first 1,000 produced. We're a month and a half away, hopefully two
Sweet.
months.
I'm just amazed at, how busy you are. Do this, and then you're off doing
I'm
that.
AD, I'm
Eh, yeah,
yeah.
I gathered that.
Do you know how like a chess master can play 100 games at once? And that's how I look at projects. I look at them at each individual table, just,
Keep going.
game that I can bounce from one and not lose a I know what's going on. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm not gonna stop doing it because I can do it. I'm not gonna stop myself. I'm just gonna continue. And if that's what it is, and it's gonna keep me going and sharp and living life and experiencing different things, then I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna hold back.
And then somehow you're on the board of United Way in 16?
I had reached out to one of the board members, Mindy Holman, who was on the board of the United Way. Her company is one of our clients.
An
And
auto group.
yes, and I asked her if there's a way that I can be. We did a lot of outreach videos and strategies and campaigns for their employee outreach programs and
Mhm.
HR, local internal communication. And one of the things that they were big on was the United Way. They were part of the United Way, and they always endorsed and pushed out employee outreach for the donations for the United Way. So we created a lot of content, and I thought that the mission at the time was admirable. So I wanted to give back and join their marketing group, I guess, their division for a little bit. And yeah, that's the story behind the United Way. I'm no longer active as I used to, but I have other things that I work on.
So you have your 2 kids. Janine and you were married when?
1993,
1993.
October 30th,
So we're
1993, mischief
2003,
night.
2013. We're 2016. We're coming up to the part where, like, you're 27, 20, married 27 years, 28 years?
When she passed
Yeah, it's,
in 2018.
February 3rd, 2018?
Right before the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
when
the
the
day
Eagles won the
before.
Super Bowl, day before, yeah, she passed away.
Janine dies.
Yes,
Can you talk about that?
I can't.
Okay.
How do you want me to talk about it?
I don't wanted to read,
What do you want me to
so
tell you?
so how did I find, Vince F. Marie that I have no idea, and how do I find these stories? I'm on LinkedIn. I'm looking for Pat Croce. I don't know. You come up, boop, boop, see all the businesses, see where you went to school, da, and then all of a sudden I see at the bottom a website called daywithoutyou.com. Click on it, and I start reading about Janine Marie, her memoir. It says Jean Marie Memoirs. Who's that? And then I start reading. I miss you. I love you. And it's what, not saying that, but the whole thing fascinated me. This man who's lost his wife on February 3rd.
She wasn't my wife. She was my best friend.
Yeah.
Imagine losing your best friend that
Mm.
happens to be your wife. There are three things about, I think I mentioned it, that I believe in a relationship, especially with a partner. Number one, they have to be your best friend. And when I mean my best friend, like, I mean, does your best friend shame you or judge you?
I don't know.
When you confine with them, do they yell at you or no? You go to them and tell them exactly what's inside of you without feeling wrong.
They accept you for who you are.
Without being scared.
Completely. To the point where when I had an emotional affair, she was the first one to find out about it. I'm like, babe, I think I'm having an emotional affair. When you have that kind of transparency with someone with knowing that you're not going to get the backlash, not because you don't deserve it, it's because they're just so understanding of you, regardless of how much you may hurt them. They're a rare breed, and you latch on to them. And she happened to be my lover after that. After being my best friend, she was a lover. And then the third part was life and being a wife and handling the kids and being the mother of like our kids, and, the household responsibility, that part of the
Sure.
relationship.
The sharing of.
The sharing, yes. The three components are completely different. When we were out and about, we were best friends, just hanging out with everybody else. People would love to come and just hang out with us because we were both funny as
Comedy
fuck.
show.
We were a
I get
comedy
you.
show, yes. She was the clown. I was more of the straight guy. I would set her up, and she would completely like it was Abbott and Costello routine, if there was one.
Like,
It was special. And then the morning that I lost her, we had a routine every day. It just suddenly ended. We weren't prepared for this. It came out of fucking nowhere. God knows she'd been to the hospital so many different times, and every time she was like this close to death, but she made it out. And I'm like, okay, this time is going to be the same thing. It's going to be one of those things where her tubes rupture or whatever, and there's internal bleeding. Go on and on and on. She always had some kind of a major ER, not even ER, like ambulance, rush her to the hospital incidences. This one, last one, was the one that just I didn't see coming. And the routine part of it, I wanted to continue somehow to tell her what happened today. There's nobody to tell anymore what happened today and just reminisce about our past or anything. Nothing. And you have two kids that you're trying to take the pain away from them and hope that life would teach them a lesson and they would rise and make something out of themselves from such a horrific loss. Some people rise from traumas, others fold. I felt like my kids folded. And to this day, I feel like they're folding and I can't get them out of it. But
You're still fighting for them. Just 7, 8 years later, you're still fighting it for them. I mean, the first day I'm just sitting here thinking about your situation. You lose your best friend, your lover, your 28-year-old companion like that. And not only are you grieving and dealing with your own loss, you have to deal with your two kids and their devastation.
sure.
I mean,
And it was the
that's
day
gotta
before the
be
Eagles
yeah.
Super Bowl. Like
Right.
we were the weekend before, we were at our friends and we turned this into like a routine thing with them that we were just gonna watch the playoffs that year at their house. And that Sunday they're like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "No, we're coming and watch it." And we'll leave her seat open. And we all sat and we watched it, and it was bittersweet because she never seen a Super Bowl win before. And her and I were just like fucking freaks with the Eagles. She loved them so much. She made it on WIP one time. Rhea Hughes was out for a week or on vacation or something, and they needed a lot of girls to come in and fill in 2-hour shifts.
She was one of them?
She was the first one that she came on. She called and she's like, "Hey, I want to try it out." And she choked. Oh my God, did I make fun of her? I was like, come on, woman. Like you talk my ear off about the Eagles and Dallas. And I think it was a weekend that we were playing Dallas too. So I'm like, you got it up, babe.
Vince had started a blog on February 4th. I guess I would say you're working through your grief, your mourning,
Best thing that I ever
like
did.
you said.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I read this for a second? So it's called Any Women Who Are Listening, anybody who's listening, but any women who are listening, go to daywithoutyou.com, and you can read Vince's blog, Day One Without You.
I never read it.
You never read it, but you wrote it. Two amazing things took place. First, you donate your organs to save lives. I was told you could save up to 158 lives. The second, our Eagles are world fucking champions. Wish you were here to witness the joy. Bittersweet. I love you. On day 2, our morning talk over coffee and a cig is not the same without you. Nothing is the same, but life must go on. And then you talk about your work day, kids. I'm still getting bombarded with texts, phone calls, Facebook messages with wonderful show of grace, prayers, well wishes, and love. The support we're getting cannot be described. I can't go on. Can you, you want to talk about your kids? Okay.
What do
Want
you
to
want
take a
me to tell
break?
you?
You all right?
I don't want to complain.
Yeah, you talk about that in here. How lucky you were.
I don't want to complain. I complain enough. It's just parent, kids stuff, like,
Well, I'll tell you, this is beautiful.
thank you.
I've read a ton of it, and I have 4 daughters, and 2 of them are reading it, and my wife has looked at it. Quite good. You write very well too.
I didn't know I could. I didn't have time to think. I was just writing whatever I was thinking. I literally didn't give a fuck about typos. I didn't proofread. Whatever was in my head, I wrote for her. And that was it.
Well, it's
Unfiltered. Thank you. Thank
you
you.
meant it as an ode to your wife. It's beautiful. I feel like I know her. I feel like I know your relationship.
I hope you know her. She deserved to be known. She really deserves to be known.
When you when I heard she was sleeping on the floor with you, I knew at that point she had your back because you mentioned that she came from a well-to-do family and
Remember Chaz Palminteri movie when he tells the kid, lock the door?
a Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
Which I just watched again the other night. She was the one that would unlock. That's the woman she was. And you don't let go of a woman like, or a partner, forget the woman or whatever partner that goes that extra mile for you. I owed her my life. When nobody else believed in me, she was the only one that fucking believed in me. I would ask her like, such a bum. It's like, now you weren't. You weren't a bum. You had no idea. I can tell what you're gonna be. You just weren't there yet. Yeah, I can see it. And funny because after I left, when she told me to go on my own, fast forward 20 years, whatever, not 20 years, 10 years. I'm like, there was a conversation about if I'm good in business or not as a businessman. I'm like, you wouldn't have let me go on my own if I wasn't a good businessman. You know, like I was giving her, like, she's like, I didn't think you were. That was her exact response. I don't think you're a good businessman. I think you were just fucking creative. That's why I wasn't worried because you're super creative. Not because you're, no. I'm like, what? All that time, I'm like, I believed you, like, wanted me to go on my own.
The confidence because
I was like a good businessman. It's like, no. That's not why. Anyhow. I'm sorry. I have funnier things to talk about if you want more uplifting shit that will shock the shit out of you all. Unless you have more questions you want to ask.
The only thing I'm wondering, your kids and how life is now, and, we could be done. We can keep going on. It's up to you.
I just want to tie in Philadelphia into this, okay?
Please.
And how Philadelphian I've become.
Oh, the whole time you were saying we, just like every other Philadelphia.
But I didn't hear
You're
you
an
say the
adopted
word
son.
use yet.
Yeah, I would never use that. Not
Use
because
guys.
I have my limits with how far I want to be a Philadelphian. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
anything else?
I think I'm okay. Are you okay?
I think I'm.
Is there anything I missed? Anything you want to say? Anything?
No. If you don't want to talk about anything else, no.
You have an interesting story. You're an intriguing Philadelphian, adopted son. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Emotional roller coaster for me also, bud. But nice talking to you, meeting you.
Same here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. We're out. Grandpa Valerino, so right. Everybody got a story. Man, did Vince F. Marie have a story?
Quite the story.
Jordanian kid goes to Kuwait, ends up at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska. Talk about culture shock. Then finds Philadelphia because he loves the Eagles. It was, I love the Eagles or 49ers. Let me go to Philadelphia. That's how you pick where you're going to live the rest of your life. And then he becomes a Philadelphian. You heard him. We. Works his butt off.
Couldn't get on to say use guys.
In the restaurant business, hot dogs first. Then he gets out of that business. He's working for your father-in-law, slaving away, going to art school, having a kid.
I think his father-in-law did fire him.
Yeah, he fired him. But then, probably the best thing that happened to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then he goes off, starts his creative career in the advertising business, works for somebody for, 6 or 7 years, opens up High Heels and Bananas, pretty funny name. They get hired by a union ad agency that he's still working at. So if you ever want to work with Vince, you know where to go, union ad agency or the High Heels and Bananas. And I have 2 kids, a wife, 2 businesses. Let me develop a pet business. Chewy Chums. Crazy. And then the love of his life passes away. 1 second. He never even said what it was from. I know it's an aneurysm, and his life changes February 3rd, 2018.
Yeah. That's just seeing the emotion in his face when we brought it up, like you could tell that she was the rock behind him.
They were that was, you read the blog and you read his daily letters to his wife.
What was that
and
blog called?
It's love. daywithoutyou.com. I'm telling you, ladies, men, go read it. He writes well too.
Yes.
Writes really well. And I love to read. And I I couldn't stop scrolling. I was up till 2, 3 in the morning the one night, just reading all his blogs, all his posts.
Yeah.
And his kids, I mean, it's got to be tough. I mean, and look at him. He's still so positive, and
Yeah.
I loved him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Philadelphian. Hey, Bradley Cooper, I'm so sorry I couldn't have you on this week, but you could see that when a guy like Vince F. Marie can do your podcast, you got to take that chance. And hopefully next week, maybe it'll be slower week, or after that, we can have you on, Bradley. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Bradley, have your people reach out to my people and see what we could do.
We'll squeeze you in. Hey, what a great story. Can't wait for you guys to hear some of the stories that we have coming up. We're out.
Have a good day, folks.